basketball that night. One more time, your final score: Texas 52, Arkansas 37. The season finale on Saturday on the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield.
On the Razorback Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the Sonic Postgame Show, presented by Sonic Drive-In. Live free. Eat Sonic. Today's game has also been brought to you by Coca-Cola. Game day deserves the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar because fan work is thirsty work. By Oaklawn Hot Springs, Arkansas's only casino resort. Your Arkansas Ford dealers. Test drive the Ford F-150, official truck of the Razorbacks, at an Arkansas Ford dealer near you. Farm Bureau Insurance of Arkansas. When life happens, make sure you're counting on the home team because we're there when it matters. Summit Utilities, delivering natural gas to Razorback fans across Arkansas. By UAMS Health, the official orthopedics and sports medicine provider for the Razorbacks. First Security Bank. It's banking with people you know and people you know you can count on. First Security. Bank better. By Qual Choice Health Insurance, a better choice for health insurance. Make the right choice with Qual Choice. By Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please drink responsibly. Ballpark, the official hot dog of the Razorbacks. By Visit Hot Springs. Time for a road trip to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Learn more at hotsprings.org. Wright's Barbecue, the official pitmaster of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Small house, big flavor. By Arkansas Children's. Arkansas Children's gives you home field advantage for your child's health. By Bath Makeover of Arkansas. Locally owned, American made, and proud to be an official sponsor of the Razorbacks. Highland Dairy. Locally made. Naturally delicious. By Shelter Insurance. For award-winning service, find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. By Surfside. 100 calories, 0 bubbles. Party smart. Must be 21 and over. Regions Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC. Harps Quality Foods. Hometown fresh. It's that simple at Harps. By Edward Jones. For a financial advisor near you, visit edwardjones.com. The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Reliable, affordable, responsible power. By Baptist Health. Arkansas's largest and most comprehensive health system. Your local Toyota dealer. Toyota. Let's go places. By Kubota. Find your local Kubota dealer at arkansaskubotadealers.com. Hellman's, the official mayonnaise of Razorback Athletics. By Domino's Pizza. Hog fans, order online at Domino's.com to save money on mouth-watering pizza with Domino's Rewards. The Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. This is winning. Modelo Especial. Brewed for full-time Razorback fans. The Arkansas Department of Health. Quit tobacco. We can help. SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Razorback Athletics. By Experience Fayetteville, the home of the Hogs. There's a reason locals call it Favoriteville. Roller Funeral Homes. For 3 generations, the Razorback Nation has trusted the Roller family to serve yours with all our respect. By Whole Hog Cafe. At Whole Hog Cafe, world champion barbecue is what they do. By Our Care. Health for all. Aetna, a proud sponsor of this Razorback football games broadcast. Greenway Equipment. Equipment that works as hard as you do. And by the University of Arkansas Online, offering flexible degree programs. Apply now at online.uark.edu. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Razorback Sports Network.
The Razorbacks played them within 4 at the break. Texas breaks it open in the second half, though, and the Longhorns have beaten Arkansas. Bobby Petrino and Steve Sarkisian make their way to midfield. A 28-point second half by Texas has propelled them to their 8th win of the season. Hawks dropped to 2-9. Longhorns win it 52-37. Our final score in Austin.
It's Hog Reaction, brought to you by Bud Light, the world's favorite light beer. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. It doesn't get more Razorback than the Stadium Shop.
I'll hold it down.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963.
All right. Hog reaction here following Arkansas's 52-37 loss to the Texas Longhorns in Austin. Matt Jones here with me. Matt, I kind of thought this game might be a little lower scoring than it turned out to be, but no, the defense couldn't really get Texas off the field, and when they did, they seemed to not really capitalize, and it was, score for score, and Texas just did really well protecting Arch Manning. He was able to pretty much do what he wanted through the air, and kind of give the receivers time to get past our secondary a little bit, and that to me was the biggest difference in the game tonight.
Christian, good to be here with you, man. Yeah, that was a battle right there. The Hogs hung in there in the first half, and Texas kind of had a dominant third quarter. But man, the Hogs battled. Keep your head up.
Yeah,
and you get one more opportunity next week against Missouri.
Yeah, and things to take away from this game. Obviously, the offense looked pretty good for the most part. Talked about the defense there. I was impressed. The field goal kicking was a positive. Stars it goes 3 for 3, which is good to see. If you're looking for the positive things, it'd be good to have him again next year. And then obviously KJ Jackson goes in and does pretty well. But the one thing that I like to see in this game is Arkansas kept fighting, even though the defense couldn't get Texas really off the field. But to me, it was one of those games where Texas just had a little more on offense and a little more on defense. But, like you said, one more game left to go. And obviously you would like to win that game. And Matt, I know there were some good college football games today. Did you get to watch any of the other ones?
I didn't get to watch much. We got this BYU game on right now, but I did watch this Arkansas-Texas game. I saw where Oregon ran away from USC. Kind of a weird week in college football because a lot of the games are kind of off weeks. And does it hurt you playing in the SEC championship game as an extra game?
No, it depends. If you're like a bubble team, I guess you could look at it both ways. If you're a bubble team, do you even want? Yeah, do you want to play it? Because if you win, it would help you, but if you lose, it would hurt you. So it's you don't really want to. I mean, I guess most teams in the championship aren't really bubble teams. I guess a 3-loss.
Pittsburgh's up on Georgia Tech right now. You see that? Yeah.
That would probably that would be a bubble team, and I don't even think if they won their conference. I mean, even if they won their conference championship, I don't see a 3-loss Pittsburgh getting in. But yeah, that's a shocking score. It was like 28-0 the last time I checked on that, and it's 28-7 now. Georgia Tech is driving, so they're kind of flipping the script a little bit, trying to make it a game before half. And I look at a lot of these scores. It was pretty much a cupcake type of week for the SEC, playing a lot of non-conference teams. But as far as surprises go, I haven't, other than the Georgia Tech game we mentioned, pretty much one of those days in college football where it's a big week because there's teams that desperately need to win. And a team that picked up a big win is obviously Oklahoma today. They got it done 17-6, I believe, over Missouri. But yeah, man, about this Arkansas-Texas game, it's, I saw some things in this game that obviously, you like to see. They came out, Washington ran the ball well. I think his first carry was a long run. Like to see a touchdown there, but ended up settling for 3. And then on the touchdown run he did have, that to me, that was his most impressive run of the season just because of how physical he looked on that run.
Yeah, that was a big time run. He showed his explosiveness, man. He's such a good one cut back. When he gets it going, man, he's fun to watch. That was 100-yard rusher, averaged six a carry tonight. Mike Washington, one of the few bright spots.
Yeah, here's the call of that run.
On first down, Green going to turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Yeah, nice to see that from him because he's kind of more of a like explosive back. You know, he doesn't seek out contact a lot. So that run really impressed me, and they were definitely ready to go in this game. The offense was clicking. It looked like they all pretty much, no lack of effort in this game. It was just a case where Texas was, they're coming off a pretty big loss to Georgia, 35-10, and they can't afford to lose another game. And this win for them doesn't really help them a lot as far as it doesn't help them, but you definitely didn't want to lose it. And they've got a big showdown next week against the undefeated Aggies. There's a lot of teams in the SEC right now trying to sneak their way into the playoff. I didn't see anything from Texas today, really, other than, they gave Arch Manning time to pretty much do what he wanted, but, you got to consider, they're playing a 2-9 team. I don't think Texas really showed anything today that makes you go, well, maybe they are a playoff team.
No, 3 losses, man. There's 6 teams right now that might have 2 losses. It's going to be fun next weekend to see how it kind of shakes out. But yeah, I don't think an SEC team with 3 losses gets in. There's just there might be 5 with 2, possibly 6. So it's going to be a fun final weekend.
Yeah, call in, give us your thoughts, 877-377-6963. It's Hog Reaction, Christian Johnston, Matt Jones, brought to you by Sawyer's Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Bud Light. We're talking a little bit about the games, and we'll kind of jump around here, but, obviously there's some, coaching, I don't know, destinations that still have to be kind of decided here, and the biggest is obviously Lane Kiffin right now. I believe they've got Mississippi State tonight, and I've heard that after the game they're going to have a decision, but to me that's the first big domino. And then obviously Arkansas, there's been some reports out tonight, don't know how true they are, but I've seen some pretty reputable people. I think Silverfield, Golish, and Kane Womack was among the and Eric Morris was among the short list that I've seen floating around there. So just putting that out there, not sure how correct that is. But yeah, I mean, if you watch the game tonight, you kind of just, I think you may have hoped Arkansas would win tonight, but you kind of knew, Matt, that a lot would have to go right. Arch Manning, for one, would have to kind of play bad, play like he's played in several games this year. But you even saw, against a defense that's banged up, doesn't really get much pressure, a quarterback like Arch Manning is still plenty good enough to pick you apart, and he's got the receivers on the outside to do it. But Arkansas, if you consider what they've gone through this year and just all the things that the team has dealt with, the fight has been there, and that's something you obviously want to see week in and week out. And I expect next week Arkansas will take it to Missouri in the first half, and you'd like to see them maybe pull out a win. Missouri didn't look impressive today. They had 6 points against OU. Yes, their defense is good, but to me, that's a winnable game next week against Missouri.
Yeah, let's go Hogs, man. Bring on the Tigers. Let's try to get one on the board.
Yeah, we've got some audio from Petrino, some highlights we're going to get to here throughout the show. But again, give us your thoughts. It's me and Matt Jones here for about the next hour or so, hour and a half, breaking it all down for you. Arkansas loses to Texas 52-37, falling to 2-9. Got one more chance next week to get a win, so maybe they'll do it. But a lot to talk about throughout college football. We're going to hit on some bigger topics. Mention the coaches. A lot of schools looking for a head coach right now, and Arkansas is one of them. So we'll get to all that and more coming up. It's Hog Reaction, Christian Johnston, and Matt Jones.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
What are you going to say to your team at the house?
We're going to go fight. We're going to keep fighting, all right? We'll have to play everybody.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you a realtor looking for the right team to grow your career? Join the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, the #1 real estate team in Arkansas. Lindbergh provides you with everything you need to succeed. Access to a database of over 80,000 leads, full training and support, professional marketing and social media content, all handled for you. Plus health insurance, a stock purchase plan, and revenue share opportunities. If you're ready to grow your business with the best, apply today at LindberghTeam.com. That's LindberghTeam.com, where realtors go to win.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. The future of office printing is here with Xerox's Connect Key technology and cloud connectivity. Xerox offers seamless integration, top-notch security, and unmatched efficiency to help your business stay ahead. Don't miss out. Call us today at 783-6600 and ask about our special offer for a free Xerox color printer with many Xerox models. Dixie Digital Imaging, leading the way in office technology.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshield, and slick road quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Wade Gilkey or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Is your sleigh a little run down from chasing Rudolph all hunting season? Is Mrs. Claus starting to complain a little bit more about the bumpy ride while you're out on the trail? The North Pole of Arkansas AMP's Little Elves are working nonstop to make sure your UTV or Jeep is exactly how you want it. Tires, wheels, suspension upgrades, audio, mirrors, all in stock. Not to mention our exclusive one-size-fits-all gift certificates. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, 434-4161.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Hey everybody, Zachary Hall here, otherwise known as the Arkansas Storm Tracker. If you have not stopped by the Jam Mart in Fort Smith on Phoenix Avenue, you're missing out. They have a brand new hot case in there. They serve breakfast, they serve lunch, they serve dinner. My personal favorite is the chicken strips and potato wedges. They also serve cheeseburgers as well. They have all sorts of options that you don't want to miss. Be sure to stop by and see your local Jam Mart, Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith today. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in Arkansas.
Fill her up, please.
Mustard or ketchup?
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green going to turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
KJ off play action, rolling, looking. Now he's going to have to get rid of the football. Instead, he'll run inside the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! KJ Jackson just kept the play alive, runs it in from 12 yards out. KJ gets the snap, pressure coming, fires it into the end zone. Platt's there, it's caught. Touchdown, Arkansas. Jaden Platt from 8 yards out with 16 seconds to go.
Back here on Hog Reaction, as you just heard, KJ Jackson came in about the third quarter, late third quarter, and honestly looked like a guy that had been playing like in game action when he really hasn't played that much. I think his last action he saw was Arkansas State in week 2. And man, I tell you what, for a guy that hasn't had a lot of in-game reps, he looked pretty poised out there, Matt, tonight. And, I hated to see Talon get pulled out. It looked like he was kind of dealing with something. He had that turnover, and that could have led to that decision there too. And just the game was kind of getting out of hand at that point. But if you're looking for a positive, do
you think, KJ jumped in there, stepped up, and did his thing? Are you feeling good about next year as KJ being QB1?
I saw enough of him, I think, tonight to give me some hope for next year, because he made throws. A lot of them were shorter to intermediate throws, and he didn't hit them all. But I tell you what he did is he was good. He escaped the pocket really well, and
What if Vanderbilt came after him? What do you think? They got a quarterback leaving. Do you think there's other schools out there, like Oklahoma has a quarterback leaving?
Well,
do you think he's that good? Where are you worried about him going somewhere in the portal?
I'm not. I thought about that. Let's say there is a new coach. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of players leave regardless, but you don't really know what's going through KJ's mind right now. You don't even know who the coach is going to be, so it's kind of hard to say if he's going to be the next guy in charge. But like I said, him playing as well as he did, that did cross my mind. Well, maybe he's, maybe he catches somebody's eye and when he transfers, but that's a lot of hypothetical.
That's a pretty ball.
Yeah, he really does, and I was impressed with him tonight, and I think he had 2 touchdown drives, and you heard his rushing touchdown and the throws he made tonight, Matt. And it was kind of asked of Petrino after the game, like, okay, is KJ going to get the start or Talon next week? And obviously it's really, really early to tell that, but this is what he had to say.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit premature to ask that. It's a good question, no question about that. But I really haven't thought about it one bit. But I understand the question for sure.
And Matt, with just so much unknown right now, we don't even know who our next head coach is going to be. It's just kind of like it was nice to see, but like I said, we don't know who's going to be on the field next year. We don't know who our coach is yet. So it's kind of like wait and see mode is the way I see.
Yeah, it's up in the air with the Razorbacks right now. But he was, man. He was a bright spot, I thought, and it's a grind, the SEC season, and it's tough if you have your quarterback for all 12 games. So it's good to have a good backup, and I thought he came in and did well. I think that he did enough that there's probably enough teams out there that would come looking for him, is what I'm saying. Like he could probably have his choice of about 20, 30 teams. I think he'll be he'll be starting for somebody next year.
Yeah, and kind of to tie this into the quarterback position may not have anything to do with Arkansas, which I would hope it does, but it may not. But Kane Archer has reportedly decommitted from UCF and is going to go on an official visit to another school, and that school we don't know, kind of under wraps there, but some people are speculating that could have something to do with maybe who Arkansas's next coach is, and we can get into that as well. But to me, Matt, we've talked about it so much, but I can't get away from the fact that just having Arkansas guys on this team, I watched Isaiah Satania for Oklahoma today take one about, 80 yards, and I was like, man, he should be a Hog. But I think that is important no matter who this next coach is. The players that you do have in state that are good enough to play, you got to keep them there, man. You got to keep them in state, and the quarterback position is really important. And you've got to have a great decision maker. You've also got to have an athlete. You've got to have a guy that can throw the ball. Obviously, a lot goes into that position, Matt. To me, that's as important as who the next coach is. I mean, the next coach is obviously important, but you got to have better quarterback play, I think. And obviously, it's not all on the quarterback, because the O-line, as much improved as they've been this year, hasn't been perfect. Haven't really been able to get pressure on the other team's quarterback. So that kind of ties into the defense, where this was a game where there was very few stops really by either team. Texas did have a few more stops than Arkansas, and Arkansas scored on most of their drives, but Texas, they were getting touchdowns. Arkansas was getting field goals. It seemed like too many times tonight.
Yeah, Texas played well. That was Texas. They did that. You got to tip your hat to them. They have a lot of talent on that team. They ran the ball a little bit. They matched our physicality. I was impressed with Rohan Jones a little bit for the Razorbacks. I thought Mike Washington caught the ball well.
Yes.
There was a couple. Mega Blake, that one third down catch was pretty good. The team fought hard. It's just Texas had a little bit more tonight.
Yes, and I want to give a shout out to Starzik, because we talked about KJ being a bright spot. Starzik as well hasn't had the best year, but he also really hasn't gotten to kick that many field goals if you think about it. Today he went 3 for 3.
It's a good snap. Bale's hold is down. The kick's got plenty of distance, and Scott Starzik drilled it. Good snap. The hold is down. The kick is away, and it is good. Good snap. The hold is down. The kick is on the way, and Starzik has kicked his third field goal of the year.
So a game where field goals obviously weren't going to win it for you, but it was nice to see. And you don't know early in the game how it's going to go. I'm sure they didn't expect Texas to score touchdowns as often as they did. I sure didn't. I didn't think it would be a track meet kind of like it was, Matt. But that was good to see out of the freshman kicker.
Oh man, anytime your field goal kicker can go 3 for 3, that's always a good sign. And I mean, special teams is
it can be very important, right?
Yeah, so that's amazing, and you just got to tip your hat to the other team.
All right, we're gonna take a break here. Hey, Brian and Ozark, if you want to call in. I hadn't heard much from you this week, throughout the week, but if you'd like to give your thoughts on your Longhorns win, do it, man. Arch Manning had himself a day, but Arkansas fought hard, 52-37 the final score. We're going to talk more about the scores across the conference because there were some key games today. I think the last I checked, LSU was losing 3-0 to Western Kentucky, and that was in the second. So some teams kind of, Florida laying down a little bit against Tennessee, which was a little surprising. 28-0 is the score right now at the Swamp. Tennessee is ahead. So, yeah, give us your thoughts. Call in. Text us in. We'll read your text on the Lewis Automotive Group Hotline. Hogwild in Van Buren said KJ won't be here next year, and that could be very well true. We'll get into that and much more coming up.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, Sawyer's, and by Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue.
Are you a realtor looking for the right team to grow your career? Join the Limbird Real Estate Group, the #1 real estate team in Arkansas. Limbird provides you with everything you need to succeed. Access to a database of over 80,000 leads, full training and support, professional marketing and social media content, all handled for you. Plus health insurance, a stock purchase plan, and revenue share opportunities. If you're ready to grow your business with the best, apply today at limbirdteam.com. That's limbirdteam.com, where realtors go to win.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR. Grit is who you can trust.
With winter just around the corner, now's the time to make sure your equipment is ready to handle the cold, the snow, and everything in between. Whether you're planning preventative maintenance, gearing up for snow removal, or keeping your fleet running through harsh conditions, Sharp Equipment is here to help you stay ahead. If you've got winter projects coming up, let Sharp Equipment know what parts you'll need. Sharp Equipment can help you avoid downtime and keep your operations moving no matter the weather. Give Sharp Equipment a call at 479-649-0500 or stop by at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren to see how Sharp Equipment can help you keep moving forward.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green going to turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Yeah, I told him that was a good old-fashioned ass-kicking, number one. And we competed, played our ass off in the first half, right there where we want to be. And then in the second half, we couldn't get off the field. Offensively, we turned the ball over and gave them their opportunities. For the first time, I felt like there was a couple of guys on the team that's attitude wasn't where it needed to be. And that, you know, that's not what we are, not what we want. We've got a whole bunch of guys in the room that have one more game left. And I asked them if they would like make sure that we finish practicing correctly and get ready to play. And we're back at home and go out and work as hard as we can to get a win at home.
Pretty honest comments there, Matt, from Coach Bobby Petrino. And that kind of leads me to this. I don't think he was going to be the coach regardless, but, you know, does this pretty much shut the door on him? I mean, even if they were to get a win next week, I think Arkansas is going to go in a new direction, it looks like.
What a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby's handled it well. The truth
He really
is
has.
He's handled it well. It's just a tough situation. Yeah, I don't know. People that get paid a lot more money than me get to make these decisions, and the decision's probably already been made. I just think that they're probably waiting. You know, Jimmy Franklin was introduced at Vaught Tech, and so they're probably, you know, there's other coaches that are coaching with teams that have a chance to go to the playoffs. You don't want to announce it while they're still doing their thing. So the decision's probably already been made, but that's it, man. What a tough situation to be in, and honestly, I think Bobby's handled it well.
Yeah, I think he has too. And I think just the way he's handled himself this year, I mean, obviously he's a passionate coach, and we all knew that. He's really been mature about it, and just been a good leader for the team, and has done everything in his power to keep this team together through a really tumultuous season. Kind of back on KJ, several people here on the text line think he won't be back next year, and that very well could be true because we don't know anything about next year. So you got to kind of take what you see on the field with a grain of salt, especially at this point in the season, because it just feels like a mass exodus is coming, and Arkansas football is going to have a new head coach here soon. No, doesn't matter. I mean, regardless of who it is, it's going to be a mass exodus of players, and it will just be it's just kind of weird right now, Arkansas fans, because there's not really much to play for in the season. I guess you can say a win over Missouri would be a little bit soothing, I guess. You know, a 3-9 season, you got one win over Missouri. You can kind of, well, at least we did that. But Matt, it's really hard to get mad at this point about anything. It's kind of just, it is what it is. A season that just seemed like just never got off the tracks. I mean, as bad as the defense has looked at times, they've played well recently, and then today they didn't have their best game, and the offense put up 37 points against a really pretty good, respected Texas defense. So it's just one of those, it's kind of like a Jekyll and Hyde type situation where Arkansas can look like a really good team at times and then look like a really bad team. And one thing I will say, after the Notre Dame game this year, I think we all knew that the team was better than that, obviously, and then the Memphis game before that seemed to be the only two really disappointing losses when it comes to just the effort. But this team has fought. So if Bobby Petrino was to be the head coach next year, which I don't think he is, do you think he's capable of getting this thing turned around?
You know, Bobby, he's a genius when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, and
Oh yeah.
he sure can call a good game. You know, I think KJ Jackson's going to be a starter for somebody. It might be the Razorbacks. It might be Bobby getting a guy that he's kind of familiar with. I don't know. But yeah, Bobby's been a head coach before. He's been around the block. He knows how to handle these situations. And again, it's a super tough situation he's been in and hadn't been able to win one, but they keep fighting, and it's tough, man. It's tough to keep the locker room when it's like this. And I think he's been doing a super job.
Yeah, it's kind of tough for everybody, especially, fans, and then, just kind of seeing the same thing play out every week. But the Razorback fan base, they're hurting right now, obviously, but they're just kind of waiting, like you said. What did you say on halftime? They're waiting for a revolution or something. They're just ready for something to be excited about with football, and it obviously, I think, can start with a head coach, but no matter who the head coach is next year, I'm sure there's going to be doubters about whether or not this coach is the right hire or not. But I've seen the name Matt Campbell floated around as well. If that was a possible, let's say Matt Campbell was the next head coach, Matt, would that be somebody you would kind of be excited?
Where is Matt Campbell
from
coaching
Iowa
right
State? Iowa State. Yeah.
Iowa State, the Cyclones. Man, I don't know a lot about Matt Campbell and Iowa State.
Three-time big coach.
But I would definitely look into him. Yeah, what's his
So,
resume?
I know he's a 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year. He's won 9 to 10 games several times at Iowa State. And if you think about Iowa State, I don't know that they've ever had really if you look at their history, they haven't been a football powerhouse by any means. It kind of reminds me of Kansas State, kind of somebody like that. And he's been able to win there. So if that was an option, that wouldn't be the worst one for sure. But when do you think, Matt, that we're going to know who the next head coach is? Is it after Missouri? Oh, next Saturday.
I think within 48 hours of that Missouri game being over with, I think we'll know. I wouldn't even give it a week, but I think right around then, as soon as the game's over with, within a couple days they'll have an idea.
All right. Well, we do want to hear from the people. If you got any thoughts about the game or just the games overall today, who you want to see the next head coach be, who you're hearing, anything like that, we'll definitely get into it here. We've got about 3 more segments left, so we've got plenty of time to get your thoughts in if you want to. 877-377-6963 is the number to get in touch with us. We're brought to you by Sawyer Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Bud Light. Real quick, I'm going to go through a rundown of the scores in the conference today. Arkansas obviously lost 52-37. Tennessee is up 28-0 on Florida right now. That's almost half. And listen to this, Matt. 3-0, Western Kentucky with the lead over LSU, and it's almost halftime. LSU is driving, though, so that's a really low-scoring game. LSU's a good defensive team, but their offense has definitely taken a step back. I would say with Nussmeier not being in the game. So, yeah, they're just fighting to get a win against a non-conference team in Western Kentucky who can sneak up and get you if you don't play well. South Carolina 51-7 over Coastal Carolina. Vanderbilt 9-2 gets the win, 45-17 over Kentucky. Vanderbilt has really, to me, I mean,
they're going to earn it. They got to play Tennessee next week. They beat Tennessee, they're in, right? Like right now, everybody has Vanderbilt on the outside, but they beat Tennessee. Vanderbilt would be 10-2. You can't keep a 10-2 Vanderbilt out of the Money Cash Invitational.
And Matt, their 2 losses were to Alabama and Texas. They lost to Texas by 3.
Dude, I don't think they're going to beat Tennessee, but I'm saying
That's
that
true.
if they were to beat Tennessee, you can't keep them out. I think they have to go to Knoxville. So
Yeah, that'll be tough.
Tennessee's tough, man. Tennessee's a real football team.
Alabama won 56-0 over Eastern Illinois. Auburn 62-17 over Mercer. Georgia 35-3 over Charlotte. Texas A&M goes to 11-0. They beat Samford 48-0. And as I said earlier, Oklahoma with a 17-6 win over the Missouri Tigers. Isaiah Satania had a long touchdown catch in that game. And we'll talk about some of the other scores across the country as well. Give us your thoughts on the game. We will continue reading the text here so we can get some of the thoughts here, because it seems like we're getting quite a few texts coming in. So Brad from Monette, Missouri says he's a 20-year season ticket holder. I need a reason to renew. Is the commitment there for football? Letting KJ Jackson walk is crazy. Well, there's a lot of I don't think anybody's letting him walk. We don't know at this point. It's the season's not over. And I think you'll kind of know once we name a head coach how much of a commitment we're making to this, because I will say this, there's not a ton of candidates out there, reasonable candidates for the job, that it's not, this isn't the best time to be looking for a coach, I guess, is what I'm saying. You got a few guys out there. Kiffin and Franklin seem to be the two coaches that are getting the most, publicity. And obviously Franklin's going to Virginia Tech, and we don't know what Kiffin's going to do. But after that, there's a pretty big drop-off on just the coaches. You're not going to get a huge, big-name hire, but what you could get is somebody who's a program builder, and it may take a little time, but you've got to start somewhere. You've got to get the right guy in here, and I have a feeling that we'll get a guy in here that will give fans some hope. I don't think this is going to be just it can't be. It can't just be a hire just to get a coach in here. It's got to be the right hire. And as big as a moneymaker as football is, and as passionate as this fan base is, I think that you'll have something to look forward to next year. But like Matt said, we won't know till probably Saturday after the Missouri game. So until then, it's kind of just wait and see. So a lot of things going through your mind right now, especially, the game today, the way the season's gone. It's just been pretty depressing, to say the least. But we've got basketball to look forward to. We've got a really good basketball team. I think they're young, and they've got a big one. I think Duke is their next opponent on Tuesday, Matt. That is
delicious.
The Boozer twins.
Matchup.
Yeah. One thing about Arkansas is when they're playing, the Dukes of the world, I don't fear that they're going to get manhandled, or they're going to be just as talented as Duke is. They've got a lot of talent on that team. Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff, and I think they will be up to the task. I think these guys kind of play down to opponents, and they play up when they need to. Not the best recipe for success, but they are 5-1 right now, and there's going to be a lot of lessons they'll learn throughout this season. But at least we got the basketball team that we can kind of enjoy right now, Matt.
Let's go Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Man, what
yeah.
a matchup that's going to be right there. I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have to take a nap that afternoon so I can be ready to go, man. Yeah, let's get it.
All right, we're going to take a break here on Hog Reaction, and we'll be back here in a few minutes. It's Hog Reaction, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, brought to you by Sawyer Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback, and Bud Light.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyer's, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
What are you going to say to your team at the house? We're going to go fight. We're going to keep fighting, all right? We'll have to play everybody.
Hawk fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
This is Elizabeth, and we want to introduce the newest member to the Man family, Raleigh.
Hello, and we're with the Stadium Shop on Razorback.
Raleigh, you're not really new to the family or the Stadium Shop.
Yeah, I've been around a few years, and I can say it's awesome to be a part of the only family, alumni, and locally owned Razorback store in Arkansas.
You mean the largest Razorback store south of the North Pole.
And thank goodness we are the largest because we've been receiving so much new stuff lately, like the new Nike jerseys and sideline apparel, as well as your favorite brands like Champion, Tommy Bahama, and Cutter and Buck, and just way too much stuff to mention here.
Hey, Raleigh, what state's famous for their small drinks?
Raleigh don't.
Matt, I gotta try. What state is famous for the smallest drinks?
Minnesota.
See, I told you.
Yeah, his dad jokes are so legendary.
Anyway, stop by the store at 989 South Razorback Road next time you're in Fayetteville.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
Or shop the Googleator Facegram interweb page.
Dad, it's called a website, and it's shoponrazorback.com. Folks, it just does not get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs!
If it rumbles, roars, or needs a little more power, take it to Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports in Clarksville. From muffler and catalytic converter repair to full custom exhaust systems, they've got you covered. Need welding or mobile welding along with equipment repair? They do that too. Custom fabrication done right. Located at 215 East Taylor Road. For performance, precision, and power, it's Exhausted Muffler and Motorsports. Call today at 479-214-2729 or stop by today.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at goforsgren.com.
Looking for quality metal buildings and roofing? Metal Mart has you covered. From prefabricated metal buildings to custom trim, carports, and more, Metal Mart is your one-stop shop. Contractors and do-it-yourselfers are always welcome, and their experts will help you calculate the materials you need, all at a price you can afford. With locations in Fort Smith, Little Rock, and Jonesboro, or visit metalmarts.com. Metal Mart, the right material for the right price.
When second's making a play, short's got to cover.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3,
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Family owned and operated since 1950, Crabtree RV Center is proud to have served the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 amazing years. From a small dealership on Midland Boulevard in Fort Smith to 17 acres located at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, Arkansas, Crabtree RV Center is your one-stop shop for sales, service, and parts. Come celebrate 75 years with us and take advantage of spectacular savings all year long. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green going to turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Christian Johnston here with you tonight, breaking it all down as Arkansas falls 52-37 to the Texas Longhorns tonight. And I was just, looking at the stats, and, you see the score and you might think, well, Texas absolutely dominated in almost every category. Well, no, Arkansas 29 first downs. Texas had 22. Net yards rushing, 188 for Arkansas, 97 for Texas. And Texas did have a little more passing yardage, 393. Arkansas had 324. The thing here was obviously Arkansas did have one turnover, but really other than that, played a clean game. Texas forced Arkansas to punt a few times, and it was just one of those deals where Texas, their size and their speed on defense really showed tonight, especially when it needed to. And, I go back to that play with Talon, just kind of what we've seen all year, trying to make something happen in a moment where you can't really take a risk like that. It was kind of an interesting play how it turned out, when he was trying to pitch it, I believe, to the tight end. But just thought that was interesting. Looking at the numbers tonight, Arkansas obviously lost 52-37, but fought valiantly, I think, tonight. Really played as hard as you could possibly play against a team with that much talent like Texas, who was picked, number one, I think, preseason, sitting with 3 losses. And like I said earlier, they've got a big matchup next week against the Texas A&M Aggies. No matter what happens, A&M will obviously be in the playoff, but that would make Texas fans, I'm sure, happy if they're able to give the Aggies their only loss of the year, which I think could be a good game. But I'll still take the Aggies in that one. I think they're just too good on offense, Matt. And,
best, what do we had? So we'll have 4 0-8 seasons in the last decade. This would be the best 0-8 team.
You've got a point there, Matt. I mean, it's kind of funny. We joke about it, but it's like, usually a team that goes 0-8, you would think they're getting just absolutely destroyed, but it's not really the case. You don't expect to lose as many close games as Arkansas has lost this year. I mean, if I would have told you, Matt, that Arkansas would lose every game close, you probably would say,
it's like the Billy Madison, he's like, it's not cool if you don't pee your pants. It's not cool if you don't go 0-8, and you got to do it with theatrics. It's the new, 40's the new 20. It's cool to go 0-8.
Rick from Bella Vista said not taking calls. We are taking calls tonight. So if Rick, if you want to call in, give us your thoughts, 877-377-6963. Getting some action here on the text line. Let's see what Jacob in Fort Smith had to say. Bobby cancels out a couple of those 4 coaches on the list. That's an interesting point. You look at some of the names being linked to the Arkansas football job, and it's kind of hard to get behind some of these names when you've got a coach that you could argue is just as good. Now, there's been some talk this year about Bobby not being able to adjust in the second half. Look, the offense put up 37 points today, and we can say what we want about him. It's today, it was just, I don't think it mattered, because you're not going to score 50-plus against a Texas team with that defense and win the game very often. I mean, when you look at Texas, the way they beat people, it's normally low scoring, grinded out type games. And Arkansas was able to keep up with them on the offensive end, but the defensive end did not do what it needed to do tonight. Hogwild in Van Buren, what's he got to say? Oh, that's about Kane Archer. Apparently he's visiting Utah, which Utah I think is actually, what are they, 9-2? One of the teams right now sitting, one of the first two teams out of the playoff. They won today like 51-47 over Kansas State. What do you think about Utah, Matt? You know, they're a team that's usually pretty good, but they do have two
behind
losses.
BYU's in a tough one with Cincinnati right now. It's 10-7, 47 seconds to go here in the second quarter. So almost halftime. Cincy just calls a timeout, 1st and 10. So they're in a dogfight right now. So, but BYU controls their own destiny. They get past Cincinnati. It won't matter what Utah does.
And right now, I would think probably, I wouldn't say shocking. Georgia Tech's looked kind of anemic at times this year in certain games. They're 9-1, which is really good. But another game where they're getting punched in the mouth right now by Pittsburgh, 35-14.
Ooh.
That's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde type team with Georgia Tech. I mean, you see the potential with them, but it just goes to show that
outside looking in, they get Georgia next weekend.
Yeah, and funny enough, I think they'll be 110% ready for that game. Like, there's no, Georgia is their rival, and Georgia's coming in. They'll both, well, actually, Georgia Tech will probably have 2 losses unless they make a big comeback here. But regardless, I mean, let's say Georgia Tech loses tonight and then beats Georgia next week. Yeah.
Oh, you think they beat Georgia next week? I don't know. Georgia's playing like the best team in the country. Georgia-Ohio State matchup's what it's looking like.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't pick them, but man, what's one thing about this college football season, Matt, that stood out to you? It really seems like, there's a drop off when it comes to the top teams and maybe the mid-tier to the lower-tier teams. I mean, you've got a lot of 2-win teams.
The thing that stands out to me is Ole Miss and Texas A&M have finally stepped up to the table. The last decade, what have we been hearing? Especially the last 5 years with Lane Kiffin. And then, A&M goes and gets Jimbo, doesn't work out. They had Johnny Manziel, couldn't get there. So A&M's kind of been on that track where you're just thinking, when are they going to do it? And I think that would be the thing that stands out to me in the SEC is that Ole Miss and Texas A&M finally got there.
Yeah, it's an interesting year in the SEC because we kind of thought like, okay, Alabama's going to take a step back. Well, they haven't. Texas this year took a little step back probably, but they're still among the best in the conference. OU took a step forward, a big step forward. They're still in the race. Missouri, I know they're 7-4, but not a bad team. Georgia obviously is still good. LSU probably is the biggest surprise if you're looking at it. Just the way that they were hyped up this season by me and you. I
picked them to win the SEC this year.
Yeah, I mean it's weird how sometimes things can be, but I guess not every team in the SEC can win, and it's been not a great season for several teams like South Carolina, Florida, Auburn, Arkansas, Kentucky, obviously, and then obviously we talked about Vanderbilt. I've been really impressed with them, but to me, Clark Lee is a great coach. Don't get me wrong, but I think a lot of what they do is schematic, and the credit goes to the coaching. They've obviously got some talent on that team, but Diego Pavia, man, I know he's an older guy, but he has just been the difference maker for them on offense. I mean, they can score, they can play defense. I mean, they're a legit team, but I don't know. Obviously they've got to win next week, but It would be interesting to see a team like a Vanderbilt and Indiana, which I don't even think is Indiana even a Cinderella at this point? Kind of what they've done back-to-back years. I mean,
I don't know. You give me some of these teams in the top 7, and then you tell me, would you take Indiana over Georgia? Would you take Indiana over Texas A&M? You know, would you take Indiana over Ohio State? Would you take them over Ole Miss or Oregon or Oklahoma? No. I wouldn't take Indiana over Alabama. So I think Indiana's more like 12. You know, like around Utah, Miami, like Vanderbilt. I'd like to see Vanderbilt versus Indiana.
And Matt, I think this year, we haven't really talked about it very much, but the SEC is far and away the best conference. I mean, far and away. You got the Big Ten, who's got Ohio State, and then, obviously Michigan. Those are probably two of the better teams in that conference. I could believe, Indiana. But then you look at top to bottom in the SEC. A&M's 11-0, Georgia's 10-1, Ole Miss is 10-1, Alabama's 9-2, Oklahoma's 9-2, Vanderbilt's 9-2, and then you got Texas. Big bad Texas is 7th right now in the conference, and then Tennessee, and then after that it's pretty bad. But that's a pretty. I mean, you can say that's top heavy, but that's half the teams right there that are. Almost half the teams that are probably going to make the playoff. I don't know how many teams are actually going to let in, but that's right now as it stands. Those top 6 are playoff teams.
Yeah, if all 6 of those teams win next week, that's going to be just bananas.
Yeah,
I think it'd be hard if you're 10-2 in the SEC. How do you get left out? That'd be tough.
Can anybody beat Ohio State? I think they can. Yeah, I don't think there's an unbeatable team out there. I think there's a lot of parity. I think this playoff that we're going to see with 12 teams is going to be it's 12 teams, right? 12 or 16.
Mm-hmm.
12. Man, that's going to be interesting because if there's anything we've learned this season, Matt, I mean, you can't really chalk up a win really. Unless you're even if you're playing Arkansas, you can't chalk up a win most games. I mean, you could assume Arkansas is going to find a way to lose it, which the announcers tonight kind of talked about that. But I will say this: the announcers, we like to complain, but they gave Arkansas their credit. I mean, they talked about how good the offense has been. They talked about how many games Arkansas realistically could have won this year, how many times they found a way to lose. Saying Arkansas could be a 7-win team right now, and we can talk about the what-ifs, but really doesn't matter at this point because you're 2-9. But what does matter is next year, and we're one game away from basically a next chapter in Arkansas football. I don't know if it's going to be a really good chapter or what it's going to be, but it's a new chapter nonetheless, and that's kind of exciting to me, Matt. When you don't want there to be a head coaching change, but you do want to see a culture change, and it's not going to change unless you try something new. So whoever the next coach is going to bring a new identity, and hopefully unite the fan base a little bit.
Man, they're ready. They're ready for a revolution. Just give them something to cheer, and these fans will go crazy. Best fans in the country, Arkansas Razorback fans. You just gotta get it going somewhere. I don't know. You just hope, like you said, Unit. You just hope they get it right. They got a little search committee trying to figure it out. So man, let's hope they figure it out.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We do want to hear your thoughts, but I think we're going to get to some more Bobby Petrino audio here in the next segment. But keep texting in your thoughts. We like to hear them. 877-377-6963. It's Hog Reaction. Christian Johnston and Matt Jones bringing it to you tonight after the Hogs fall to the Texas Longhorns 52-37.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
What are you going to say to your team at the house?
We're going to go fight. We're going to keep fighting, all right? We'll have to play everybody.
Hey Razorback fans, Matt Jones here. We're all experiencing higher prices on just about everything, and that includes sunrooms, patio covers, and windows. If you've gotten an estimate on any of these projects and you were shocked by the price, then you need to call Sawyers. They've been making quality, affordable products for 35 years. They're local, they have 100% financing, and a beautiful showroom with all their products displayed. So give my buddy Buzz a call or check them out, sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up, home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for Jam Mart. Jam Mart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. Jam Mart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero Jam Mart locations. Jam Mart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
All right, all right. It's a beautiful day for football here at the stadium, and we're just about ready for kickoff. Score 0-0. And suddenly, I'm in the mood for a Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar. Now that's a winning combo. Yeah, crisp, refreshing. That hits the spot. When it comes to great taste, Coke Zero Sugar's always on the scoreboard. Coke Zero Sugar. Real Coke taste, zero sugar.
Is your sleigh a little run down from chasing Rudolph all hunting season? Is Mrs. Claus starting to complain a little bit more about the bumpy ride while you're out on the trail? The North Pole of Arkansas AMP's Little Elves are working nonstop to make sure your UTV or Jeep is exactly how you want it. Tires, wheels, suspension upgrades, audio, mirrors, all in stock. Not to mention our exclusive one-size-fits-all gift certificates. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, 434-4161.
Winter has arrived, bringing frosty mornings, holiday travels, and unpredictable roads. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we've got you covered. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your vehicle for everything winter has in store. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. To get started, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call your Shelter Insurance agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Archery season is here, and Infinity Sports and Outdoors has all your archery needs and more. Infinity Sports has top compound bows and crossbows, all tuned and ready to shoot. Expert bow technicians with years of experience are on site and ready to get you dialed in to hunt. Need gear? Infinity has tree stands, saddles, plus blinds from Banks Outdoors. Find all your hunting needs now at Infinity Sports and Outdoors, 3700 Highway 71 North in Alma. Infinity Sports and Outdoors.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green gonna turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5, touchdown Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
Overall thought from today's game. Yeah, I felt like in the second half out there it was a old-fashioned ass kicking. They got after us. We couldn't stop them. I was worried going into the game that it might be a game where Arch, they try to get him going and get him confidence and really air it out, and they did. And, in the first half, we did a pretty good job of keeping up offensively. And then in the second half, those two turnovers just kill you. The one that should be an easy first down. We had an assignment error on it, but you can't just do what Taylor did with the ball. And then the KJ sack, fumble, return for a touchdown. They came after him on that play. We had a real conscious effort all day long to make sure number one didn't get after us and didn't beat us. We chipped him a number of times. We did a good job of it. We slid the protection to him almost all day long. But that one, they brought him all. He ends up one-on-one, and he got us, But I did like the way KJ came in and played and competed and, showed toughness. And I thought he gave us a spark when he came in.
So Taylor was kind of pounding on his hamstrings, but could he have gone back in, or what was his status?
Oh, initially it was a no. And I don't know what the exact injury was. As soon as that happens, you start preparing KJ to get ready to go and what we're going to do with him in there. And then there was a period of time where they said Taylor's back up, and I said, no, we're going to finish this one with KJ and keep him playing.
I found myself where I knew I needed to finish.
What was Taylor? Was he trying to throw it to Rohan there, or was he trying to just get rid of it, or what?
Yeah, that's a good question. Rohan made an assignment there. He's supposed to run a flat route to the flat. It's the play we've used a lot, a number of times. A number of times we've ran in the end zone with it, and he just made an assignment there. And when you do that, you can't just throw the ball. So it was a total panic play and turnover, and unfortunate because it shouldn't happen, can't happen.
It seemed like there was an opportunity. You guys are going back and forth up and down the field, just kind of trading scores. And then defense finally gets that 3 and out, and the offense goes 3 and out. And then defense gets another stop, offense. But what happened in those moments? It seemed like you guys were moving the ball well and just couldn't.
Yeah, it did. And the third down got us, thought we had Sharp open on the sideline, and the throw was high, and then he said that he looked back and the sun was there, so he didn't see the ball. It's unfortunate because we got the play we wanted, we got the matchup we wanted. I thought we had a first down, and we just don't execute it. That's kind of the story of the year, where we have things there, and all of a sudden we don't execute them or make mistakes. But that would have been nice to be able to take the ball and go score at that time. That would have helped tremendously. But they threw the ball deep now. They ran it down. They made a lot of plays. They're good. They got good wide receivers. They got good speed. And we just couldn't get to them enough. We couldn't put enough pressure on them. And I thought there was a moment where we had him. He made some errant throws because we were getting close and getting to him. But he came back and made some really nice plays.
There were a lot of moments where it seemed like somebody almost like had their arms around him, ready to sack him, and couldn't finish it. Is that more on your defensive player team to execute, or is that him being elusive, or both?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably both, but it's also a credit to him. I mean, he's big, strong, fast dude. Kept his poise and kept his eyes down the field. He made some really nice plays out of the pocket. And, we've made those mistakes this year before where we rush past the quarterback, and it's going to make you hurt, make you pay if you rush past the quarterback. You got to be disciplined enough to get us his depth and spin back inside and not give him that angle to run at.
What impressed you the most, maybe, about KJ's performance when he came in?
Number one, he was really executing the offense, doing what you want him to do. Made good decisions. Thought he threw the ball pretty well, pretty accurate. Mixed it around, when he came in, he got the ball to the tight ends, running back, both receivers, all three receivers, I guess it is. So I thought that was a credit to. Usually when you're doing that, you understand the defense and you take what they give you, and you're not trying to force anything. So I was happy with the way he played, except for the turnover, obviously. But one heck of a run for a touchdown.
What changed? Because you had the 3 stops before the first half, or before halftime, and then they kind of found their gear again. What specifically changed maybe for your defense from that end of the second quarter to the third quarter?
Yeah, the big plays. They made the big plays. They protected it, threw it down the field, and we had a couple in the first half where we caught up and made them not catch the ball. Got our hand in there and made a couple plays, but in the second half they got by us and made the catch.
Yeah, just to follow up, I mean, what's it like watching Texas not have any fear against the secondary, just keep doing it, even when it wasn't working?
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the secondary. When you do that, it means you have a lot of confidence in your pass protection. You can block it up and have that time, and it kind of works together. When you have the time, you can air it out, throw it deep with the guy that kind of an arm.
What'd you say to the team? I mean, this is 9 losses in a row. You got 1 more game left this season. What'd you tell them in the locker room?
Yeah, I told them that was a good old-fashioned ass kicking, number one, and we competed, played our ass off in the first half, right there where we want to be, and then in the second half we couldn't get off the field. Offensively, we turned the ball over, gave them their opportunities. For the first time, I felt like there was a couple of guys on the team that's attitude wasn't where it needed to be, and that that's not what we are, not what we want. Got a whole bunch of guys in the room that have 1 more game left, and I asked them if they would make sure that we finish practicing correctly and get ready to play, and we're back at home, go out and work as hard as we can to get a win at home.
Did you see enough from KJ that you would consider starting him next week or tailing back to the
It's
starter?
probably a little bit premature to ask that. It's a good question, no question about that. But I really haven't thought about it one bit. But I understand the question for sure.
Just for clarification, the Devin Bale punt that only went 21, it looked upstairs like it went past midfield, and we couldn't figure out why they spotted it where they did. What did you see, or what did they tell you?
Yeah, I think it went out of bounds on that angle, and it wasn't a good situation. So when I looked up and saw it, I was glad he stopped where he did stop.
Whenever you say the attitude slipped over, what's your level of disappointment to see some things like that happen as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, I think what they've done a nice job of is sticking together and practicing hard and working hard and competing, and they competed hard, most of them. But there was just a few things you saw coming off the sideline, a few miles running that we haven't had. So I was just disappointed in that.
It seemed like Arch was really elusive in the pocket, had good awareness on top of the pass pro. Is that things that you've been seeing in film, or did he kind of take it up a notch today?
We had a little bit more room and time today. I mean, he'd been getting hit a lot, and he had a little bit more time today in his movement. I mean, the kid's a really good quarterback. You know, I said this week that a lot of times the quarterback gets all the blame. That's occupational hazard because you chose to be the quarterback. So when things don't go good, it's on your shoulders. That's just how it is. But a lot of times, if you're not playing up to your capabilities, 10 guys around you aren't doing their job all the time too. So, but you don't really see those. You just see the quarterback, you know, make a bad throw. But ended up being there was 2 rushers right in his face, and one guy hitting him as the ball was released. So they get the heat. They chose to be a quarterback. That goes with it.
Does the message just stay like keep battling away, keep pounding away? Is there a little bit more urgency?
There's not a lot left, you know. The message is we got 30-some kids that will walk on senior day, and they got one left. They put a whole bunch of investment into this game of football for their entire life. Let's do it better next week or one more week, and go out there and compete as hard as you possibly can, and you know, be able to come off that field and feel like I finished my career with the best possible attitude.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, Sawyers, and by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
What are you going to say to your team at the house?
We're going to go fight. We're going to keep fighting, all right? We'll have to play everybody.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Are you a realtor looking for the right team to grow your career? Join the Limbird Real Estate Group, the #1 real estate team in Arkansas. Limbird provides you with everything you need to succeed. Access to a database of over 80,000 leads, full training and support, professional marketing and social media content, all handled for you. Plus health insurance, a stock purchase plan, and revenue share opportunities. If you're ready to grow your business with the best, apply today at limbirdteam.com. That's limbirdteam.com, where realtors go to win.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Is your business's IT infrastructure secure? At Dixie Digital, we provide comprehensive managed IT services to ensure your systems are running smoothly and your data is protected. Combine that with Xerox, Brother, and Epson reliable printers and copiers, and you've got everything you need for success. Call us today at 783-6600 to learn more about our IT services and special offers. Dixie Digital Imaging, your trusted partner for IT and document management.
Want pavement protection that goes the distance? Seal-Tite of Oklahoma now offers Rhino-Tite Premium Asphalt Emulsified Sealant, the next level in driveway and parking lot care. Healthier for the environment, Rhino-Tite delivers superior defense against weather, UV rays, and wear and tear. With its high solids content, you'll get a smoother, stronger, longer-lasting driving surface. Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or a contractor buying in bulk, Seal-Tite has the products and support you need. Visit SealTiteOklahoma.com today and protect your pavement with Rhino-Tite.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
When you need tough and paint just isn't enough, check out River City Coatings in Van Buren. When it comes to your metals, paint can peel and crack over time. Whether it's your patio furniture, rims or trims on your automobile, or heavy equipment, no one has time for a redo. Powder coating provides the toughness you need. Preserve your investment with powder coating from River City Coatings. River City Coatings, certified John Deere, Caterpillar, ISO 9001, Packer, and UL provider of tough. River City Coatings, 471-7675 or online at rivercitycoatings.com.
When electrical needs pop up, don't get left in the dark. Call the local team that's trusted on and off the field. Harrison Electric. That's who homeowners and local businesses choose. Harrison Electric. Honest, dependable, and they leave no mess behind. From quick fixes to major upgrades, Harrison Electric is your go-to for all your electrical projects. Don't sit on the sideline with electrical problems. Get back in the game with the pros you can count on. Harrison Electric. Honest, quick, trusted. 652-3077.
Crisp air, colorful leaves, and the perfect season to get moving. It's fall at True Grit Running Company. Whether you're hitting the trails, walking the neighborhood, or cheering from the sidelines, we've got the shoes, apparel, and accessories to keep you comfy and supported. From cozy layers to top brands like Hoka, Brooks, and OOFOS, fall into your new favorites today. Stop by True Grit Running Company on Riders Avenue in Fort Smith, right behind Chick-fil-A. This autumn, let your journey start with True Grit.
It's football season, and that means tailgate parties and gathering with friends. River Point Wine and Spirits has all your favorite party supplies. You'll love our clean, organized store full of all the best liquor, wine, and beer. At River Point, we're a family-owned business where customer service is always our priority. Your journey, our spirit. River Point Wine and Spirits, Grand Avenue and I-540.
You're listening to Hog Reaction, presented by Bud Light, proud sponsor of Arkansas Athletics. Also presented by Sawyer's, sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas, driveways, and windows, including decorative concrete. And by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Green going to turn, hand it to Washington, trying to get outside, inside the 20, inside the 15, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas! Mike Washington just kept bouncing off tacklers. He goes 22 yards for a score.
Call or text the program at 877-377-6963. This is Hog Reaction.
All right, Christian Johnston here, back with you alongside Matt Jones as we are in the final segment here of Hog Reaction presented by Sawyer Sunrooms, the Stadium Shop on Razorback and Bud Light. Arkansas 52-7 lost tonight to the Texas Longhorns, Matt. And I think even bigger tonight is the next head coach for Arkansas. Who do you want to see be the next head coach?
Ooh, Christian, good question. I like the BYU head coach. I like the Georgia Tech head coach. I think those would be just both stellar candidates right there. If you're looking at some smaller schools, you know, Memphis, Tulane, I think both those guys could be good ones as well.
All right, as Matt spoke there's some good candidates to be had out there, and Arkansas is going to have to make a good hire as we're here in the final game next week against Missouri. Matt Jones, Christian Johnston here bringing you Hog Reaction. Stay tuned for the rest of next week as we'll talk more about who we think the next coach will be as we are coming down to the wire. All right, Matt Jones, had a great time tonight. Arkansas didn't get the win, but always have fun talking ball with you.
Yes, sir. I'll see you on Monday.
All right, that's Hog Reaction by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Sawyer Sunrooms, and Bud Light.
By Taco Bell.
That a school
Live
like
Moss.
Virginia Tech would appreciate.
Yeah, I disagree
because
with that
of where they're at. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't run thin at some point, but your leash is longer at Virginia Tech than it is right now at Penn State.
Virginia Tech wants a national title. Virginia Tech.
They're not there right now.
No, not right now.
They'd be thrilled with an ACC title right now in a playoff berth.
But right now, that's what they. I just described it. I was there. You know,
but
in the Sugar Bowl.
Everybody wants a national title, but Penn State feels like it's there now. Like if you didn't deliver.